Hello, this is Connie Denninger, and I'm here today to show you some of the things that we are learning and putting together a hybrid counting gifts and gratitude journal. We have put together the process of one gift a day with a prayer by the month calendar. So I'll show you how we put those together and give you an idea of how you could make one yourself. This is the cover to my journal. I'll come back to that in a little bit. We found the resources for Ann Voskamp in 2011, and her idea of counting gifts was just something that we grabbed hold of and began counting gifts together. Began in August 2011. We downloaded the calendar from her website, did that processing for, I guess she did that for the rest of the year, and then began changing things to smaller lines. We did that for a while. It's a simple process of just looking through each day what your blessing is to give gratitude for. I generally found that at the end of the day I had more than one thing and was challenged to find the one thing I wanted to write down. This is a process of remembering God's faithfulness. It's not about what we do in the world, it's about what He does through us, and we just tell the story one simple thing at a time. I have a numbering system where I keep track of how many days I've been doing this, one thing a day. I think the blessing of this is being able to look back and see 3, 4, 5 years ago what God was doing in that same month and how He has taken care of us, provided for us, granted mercy and forgiveness each day, day after day, and what the story of that looks like. So that's the process I've been doing for a while, and I'll come back to how we began setting up the journal. One year we just printed them in black and white for something different, and I'll show you how we process for this year. We start with a simple Plaza Art journal that you can get online from the Plaza Art store. We like it because it holds up very well, and it's 8.5 by 11 wire bound journal. Simple enough to add pages in, tear pages out, the perforated pages, and you can also fold it back. So that's kind of nice for counting gifts. It can just sit right on your counter as you do that day to day. So that's what we order. They have coupons probably 3 or 4 times a year where you can get 40% off of more than one item up to 100. So we normally order bunches of these journals to have them on hand for processing and making hybrid journals. So what had happened is we were also doing prayers by the month, and this is what we came up with as a very grace-filled way to have a prayer journal. And I've been doing this for quite a while too, simply taking a geometric shape. These are on a coloring book, covering the month with a Bible verse I'm going to pray throughout the month, and then simply writing a prayer start, prayer reminder, and then the prayer time is spent in the coloring in. This is an adaptation of Sybil Macbeth's Praying in Color work. We found that people find it easy to use something when there's already an image on the page. So we call this prayer by the month. Whenever you sit down, you gather your prayers month by month. So we were doing a retreat, and people said, well, why can't we just do both processing, gathering in one journal? So I don't have mine set up that way, but I can give you an idea of what it looks like. So if you would make one of these journals, you would have counting gifts on one side and the prayers by the month on the other. We can send you these prayer pages, these geometric forms. I'll give you my contact information at the end of this video. And then the other side is simply your counting gifts. You can find her things on your website. We also have Joanne Fink calendar pages that we're using. So the key to this process is always being ready to pray and give thanks. So sometime in November, it's a really good idea to make your journal for the next year. So here's my gratitude journal for this coming year. And now they have scrapbook paper that is actually 8.5 by 11, perfectly fits your page. So what I did in my journal was simply prepare each page. If you were making this as the hybrid form, you would make your calendar counting gifts page on this side, and then you would use a page like this on the other side. And this image can be cut out. You can add distress ink to the edges. You can see it here around the edges here. You might want to use a stamp. These pictures are ones that I use with the Versely app on my phone. Simply taking pictures in my everyday life and adding an image on it that gives it a visual reminder of who God is and where He intersects in my daily life. So that's what these images are, the Versely app, and then I just put them on my photographs and print them out. So the journal is fairly simple to make. Sometimes you can add simple things like washi tape to add some decorative things to your paper. We attach things with double-sided sticky tape. We like that because it seems to last well. Sometimes the glue sticks have a shorter lifespan. You can add stamps to your images depending on where you want to place things on a page. The front part is the last thing you would do in making a journal. We just have people bring magazines from home and cut out basic images that you would find here and maybe some words. And we use Mod Podge. We like the matte the best. Use a simple disposable brush. Add that to the top of your journal. You would put Mod Podge underneath, paper on the top, more of the matte medium, and then you can add words in as many layers as you want. And it dries smooth when it's done. It might be a little wrinkly, but by the end of it, it'll look just great. So that's how we do the gratitude journal, counting gifts. This is how you can find me, Constance Denninger. I work as a visual faith coach. My blog is Vintage Grace. And all those ways that we can connect and see how you use a Counting Gifts journal, we'd be excited to hear about. Thank you very much.